Hey guys, Jay Hoyt here. Before this video gets started, I want to say thank you guys for all the support across this franchise mode series. You guys have made it such a great series to record. The views and support and interactions you guys have been giving are absolutely incredible. So thank you guys so much. But we got episode 9 upcoming here. Hope you guys enjoy. What's going on, guys? Jay Hoyt back with you today. Welcome back to episode number 9 of our franchise mode with the Detroit Red Wings. So if you guys haven't seen the last 2 videos, I would suggest going back and watching them or even restarting the whole series because you guys have missed a lot. And I mean a lot. But for those that have already watched it, have been staying tuned to this series, you guys will know we fought our way. We got in right at the end of the season. I think the second to last game, we got into the playoffs, and then we got into the playoffs. We did some incredible things. We took out the number 1 team in the East, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then we moved on to the second round where we ended up losing, was against Boston, I think it was. So it was tough. But our team showed some big improvements across all platforms, right? We had an interesting start to the year. We made a couple of moves along the way, and we slowly eventually got to where we wanted to be, which is the playoffs. So we're gonna try to continue on that. What's good about this video is now the off season, so we can rebuild and retool our team. And even better, we don't really have, I don't think, any contracts expiring that we really need to worry about. The only one you could argue would be Patrice Bergeron, our second line center from this past year. He's only the really one that I'm kind of worried about not re-signing. If he wants to re-sign, or I don't know if he's going to retire, we'll figure that out because that's actually the first step that we're into. But let's kind of go through some notable things that you guys may have missed. So the Chicago Blackhawks end up winning the Stanley Cup. And the good news is we actually had an award winner on our team. Lucas Raymond ended up getting the Calder Trophy. So congrats to him. But we got the offseason upon us. We're going to start with retirements and see if anyone actually is gone. So we end on June 21st. Let's keep it going, though. We got retirements first. And we do have a few older guys that might end up retiring, but we'll have to wait and see here. And I don't see anyone off the start. But let's go double check in here. No skaters. A couple of goaltenders. So Jimmy Howard's gone. We probably weren't going to re-sign him anyway just because he was, 75 overall. And most likely not going to be, part of our year this year. 9 assists overall. Wow. And then Zakov, HL guy. No big deal there. But, of course, backup goalie. Not too hard to find. Anyone in either Detroit or Grand Rapids doesn't look like it, so we don't really have to worry about that. Former player Franz Nielsen ends up being, a coach or something. So when you look at our draft position, I think it's 17th, I believe, overall that we're going to end up getting. I might be wrong about that one. No, I'm right. So 17th overall pick, and we have looked at some players, as you can see. A few players that have some good grades, and we've kind of focused on them. So a couple of wingers and a trio of defensemen there all throughout the first round. So we did, interview them, some of them, a couple of them, and, that's what we did. So pretty good overall. I mean, we should get a decent pick. Hopefully we get something that we want overall, and then it'll help us out this year. So let's get into we don't need to do interviews. Actually, we didn't interview them, we just scouted them, but we don't need to do interviews. We'll get right into the draft. I guess first let's do the trade block. So with the trade block done, it's time to get into the draft, and I don't see us making any trades right now unless we get something worth it. But just kind of put some of the older guys, and we put Svechnikov up only because he's not really gonna be like growing much longer. So there's kind of no reason to keep him around if we can get something back for him. And looks like we had no trade offers in the first. So hopefully a couple of the guys that we would like are there. So we got a center that our scouts are telling us to get. However, if you look at the grades down below, they're right above me. The shooting's an A. I know you can't see it, but the A's and B's across the board. Zdeno Chara has a similar style. So that's kind of what we're looking for. A left winger with good offensive stats, but not necessarily good, well-rounded. Then we have a defenseman, no similar style, but should be ready in a couple of years. Just trying to think of what we probably should do here. We have a pair of defensemen that we kind of highlighted. I feel like this guy's going to be a defensive defenseman, so that could possibly help us out with maybe Sider or Mann. Or we could go offensive and get this guy, but he might also take a little bit to get to us. So he does say he's NHL ready, although it's not fully accurate. I think I'm going to go with Juha Lehtinen. I don't know, that's probably not how you pronounce that, but we're going to go with this guy. Hopefully he's something. 65. Okay, so we'll have to see what the other defenseman there was. I don't remember his name, but he's left-handed defenseman. Should be the next pick here. I was going to say he was up there. Okay, so similar. Sorry, 65 both, top 4 medium for both of them. So our guy's a defenseman. Other guy was offensive. You know, would I have wanted an offensive? Probably, since I think Mann's actually defensive, if I remember. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But out of the second round, if nothing really happens, then in the first couple of rounds here, we'll probably just move on to the re-sign stage. But we'll give you the first couple of rounds here and see if we find anything worth the wait here. And so far, no. So looks like some of these prospects aren't really the best. So unless we find something good or we end up making a trade, we'll see you in the re-sign stage. So here we are in the re-sign stage, and we actually, I think, got a prospect in the third round that might end up having some decent trade value and potential on him. So we'll look at him here in a second. But of course, what we said last year was, do we want to try to trade some players in exchange for trying to fit our scheme better, or try to change our scheme in favor of our coach? And unfortunately, I think it's going to be the coach. And although we did have a good rest of the year, he only fits our team 56%, which isn't a lot at all. And we'll have to see if either of these guys, either of our, I guess, assistant coaches fit our scheme, or we'll make our team more, what's the word I'm looking for? If the team fit percentage, that's what I was looking for. The team fit percentage, see if we have any coaches internally that could take over that role. If not, then of course we'll have to go look at the free agent coaches, that is, and see what they do. So for now, unfortunately, Jack Reichel, we're going to have to get rid of you. But let's go see. Are either of these guys gonna fit? So 62, so that's definitely an improvement. Let's go check the other guy, Christensen. Oh, I gotta make you a interim head coach first. What are you saying? 63. So both those guys are an improvement over what our head coach was. Do I really feel confident in either of these guys though? So he's balanced. What is his... Okay, so he's balanced throughout. So, okay. Oh, I didn't mean to hit B there. But we could go forward with one of our internal guys, or maybe just see what's on the open market as far as free agent coaches go. But one of these guys will definitely lead our team next year. We do have to fix our scouting staff, because apparently we've never done that during the off season, so that way we can have some better scouts, increase our better scouting reports on the prospects. So let me try to figure out what's going to be the best coaches, and try to hire someone that's going to fit it, and then we'll get right into the re-sign stage. Let's get into it. Re-sign stage time. So let's do it the only way I like to do it. Let's start with centers. Let's see what we got. So we have Larkin. We signed him to the extension, so we don't have to worry about him. But Bergeron obviously went big for us last year. We could get another year or two out of him if everything goes well. Then we'd have to make a decision on Pavelski as well. What do you want? So we could possibly re-sign both of them. They both want a discount from last year. The only bad thing is we do have some younger players that are going to want to look for a spot this year, with Shane Wright possibly getting a chance. Rasmussen, I want to see what he can do this year with a better role for him. And then Joe Veleno, or Joe, whatever it is, Veleno, I want to see what those guys can do. Maybe we could fit those guys up on our third or fourth lines. Could we do that? Could we just hold off on signing a couple of guys? We probably could. But I definitely want to see what those young guys are capable of this year. So after playing around with some of the players that we have potentials to re-sign here, we will have room for everyone to return, but it's going to be very, very close in roster size. That's for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and offer everyone that was with us last year, and we should have room for all of them as long as we keep Shane Wright down in the AHL or put him back into juniors, depending on if he makes the team or not. Obviously, if he does make the team, we'll have to go and figure out what to do with him, but or what players to trade or to send down, or whatever the case may be. But we're going to go ahead and send offers these guys' way. So Bergeron, you want 7.3 at 2 years. Let's go 1 year at like 6.5. Right, that's the initial offer we'll send him. Pavelski, what do you want? You want 2.7 at 1 year. How about 2.5, right, for a third liner, 84 overall? It's not bad. Bozak, if you can get like a little 1-1 action, I'd be pretty happy about that one. You don't want to do that, though. We'll go a little 1 year at 1.25 for him. And that should do it there. We will worry about all of the AHL guys off camera, because I'm not really too worried about them. So, Calvert, what did you do for us last year? Were you 19 points? Didn't really play a lot, though. No, he wasn't bad. Does he fit our scheme? I guess I can't really see. What do you want for a contract? Well, 1 at 1.5. We'd offer him 1 at 1, although we do have, is this Matthew? Yeah, Matthew Strome looking for a spot. Plus, we have a couple other guys looking for a spot as well. So, for now, I think I'm going to release him, only because we have a couple other options that I think we could go with. And if not, of course, he's always a free agent. We can go right back after him there. Of course, we have a decent prospect as well. We'll take care of him, again, off camera. Right wings, though, everyone's signed as far as I can see. Hartman, Svechnikov, we're going to try to give him a spot, or try to let him earn a spot this year, either on the third or fourth line most likely, but everyone else is signed there. Again, prospects, we'll deal with you later. So we ended up trading Edler away, who is going to be a pending UFA that we're going to release. We ended up getting a 7th round pick in the future for him, so he is gone. As far as defensemen go, we look to be set. We have 3-3 with Hayek and Mann as extras, and of course we have a long list of AHL players there as well. So goaltenders, we still have Binnington. Obviously, he will be our starter next year. As far as the AHL goes, I don't really know what to do with those guys, so we'll make decisions on them later. So we made a offer to everyone that I want to bring back that's not an AHL player. So hopefully those guys will re-sign and we can move on and see what we need in free agency. So we have some good news and we have some bad news as we enter into our free agency stage. So the good news is everyone that we wanted to re-sign has re-signed with us. Bozak and Bergeron wanted a little bit more than what we offered him to begin with, but we both have them under contract for just a little bit more. So no worries there. The only bad news is we don't really have anyone to sign as far as free agency goes, unless there's someone that's a very good deal or there is a superstar player that we could possibly get a hold of. So we need a couple of AHL guys just to fill out the roster, so that's not really that interesting there. But as far as the rest of the team goes, we have, I think, 6 available open spots, and we have $16 million in cap room. So we got lots of cap room, but we don't really need to use it this year. We just need a backup goalie and a couple of AHL guys, like I said, just to fill out the roster, even though we really don't need them, but it'll work out for the best. So let's do our due diligence here and look through the free agents just to see if there's anything that we could possibly use or that might help us out this upcoming year. So we have 10 total centers in the organization, 7 of which will have an opportunity for an NHL spot next year. So we are very full up of centers. So we'll just take a quick look, very quick look down through here and see if there's anyone that we could use. But we really, like I said, don't need anyone. Nothing really there. I mean, a couple of good deals that you could possibly get, but it would really clash with our roster. So we'll move on from them. So over on the left wings, we only have 6, but like I said, a couple of those NHL spots are going to be filled up with a couple of those centers. So we could use a 4th line left wing if we find a right one. Like I said, we did release Calvert, so we can always go see if he wants to come back to us. And if not, we'll have to just look for one other guy. But just for the spirit of creating competition, we'll see what's down here. So as far as two-way guys, I mean, there's Bjork. We could probably get like 1.5 on him for 1 year. Playmakers, I really want a two-way guy if we're gonna get down there. Kajula's down there as well. Ellie, Martinuk, and this is where you're gonna start and get into the 4th line guys. So I'm sure Calvert's down here somewhere, but we'll have to see if we really want to go after any of them. If anyone, I'd probably go after like Bjork, 'cause I know in real life, I know he's been doing pretty well, and I know in the game he's usually pretty good defensively, and obviously coming out of Boston, he knows how to win. So he put up 30 points last year. He went minus a little bit, but he's a possible option. Plus, he's still young. He's only 26. So we'll have to see if we want him or if we just want to get some other random player for a really low contract. We'll have to see about that one. But let's go over to right wings now. And there's actually a couple of good deals, which is really surprising. So again, we don't need anyone. We have 9 in total. And realistically, we don't have an open spot, even if we wanted to. But if we really needed one, obviously there's James Neal there, 83 overall. There's Tage Thompson, a big right winger for about $1 million. And then you can look down here, some other guys that are probably a little bit under what they're supposed to be. But I'd like to sign one, but we really don't need them. I know we were looking at a trade for Tage Thompson when we went with Jerome Gauthier, but it didn't work out for them, when we were trying to make the trade. So we don't really need anyone there. And Gauthier's there as well, but he didn't really work out the first time. As let's see about defensemen though. So we have 9 total left-hand defensemen, 7 total right-hand defensemen, and we are completely filled up with defensemen this year. So unless we wanted to go after like a Chris Letang or basically just him, because everyone else is kind of like that mid to low 80s. Unless we wanted to go after Letang, get him for a couple of years, and we'd have to trade away like Hronek or someone, or we could just stick with what we have now and kind of just grow our current core of players. Plus, if we needed someone, I did spot a very good deal down here. Jake Gardner, $1.5 million for a guy that could probably get us some points, and yeah, he could definitely get us some points and probably definitely improve on that plus minus. But he did very well. With points wise, 52 points there. His entire career, he's been putting up 30 point, plus games, seasons. So, if we need a left-hand defenseman, I would go after him immediately. But unfortunately, we don't need one because we are filled. Plus, we have, I think, 2 extra, both left-hand and right-hand defensemen each. So, again, don't really need any defensemen here, but the one thing we actually need is over on the backup goalie side. Do you guys see what I see over here? So, Let's start looking at the possible goaltenders here. So a couple of starting goaltenders, and then if you look at his asking price, $1.725 million for 1 year. He must have struggled last year. He didn't even really, I mean, like, that's not the greatest numbers, but he's at 86 overall. So, like, I'm going to sign him. I mean, no one else is offering. I'll offer him 1.85 just to be clear, but I mean, if we don't get him, obviously we can go with someone a little bit lower down, a little bit lower overall. But I mean, there's a couple options there. Probably Nevelkovic. I think I said that right. 82 overall, couple of years would get us a good backup goaltender and get him for a couple of years as well. But if we can get, was that Gorgiev? Yeah, if we can get him, I mean, that puts Bennington's starter spot into a battle. So we'd have a really, really good tandem at the top of our team. And even if we don't get him, obviously there's some other options. But let's advance a couple of days. Let's sort out our coaches and sort out our scouts. So we got our man at the end of the day, Alexander Gorgiev, on the squad. I'm super excited. You know, not to put anything against Bennington, but it's going to create some competition. It's going to give us a really good goaltender tandem, and I could not be happier. So welcome to the squad. I look forward to getting started with you. We've got lots of new scouts on the squad that once we get up to the regular season, we'll have to start moving them and seeing where they all fit. But for now, I think that's going to be it for all of our signing players. But let's get up to the preseason and show you guys the preseason battle. So here we are in the preseason. And as you can tell, this one is going to be good. This battle for roster spots is going to be huge. So when you look at our team, remember what I said during the offseason. We got lots of people looking, or a lot of people looking for a little bit of spots. So technically we had 6 roster spots open with, I think, like 8 or something players that we end up signing. I think it was 9 with Calvert, but we didn't re-sign him. So as you look at our squad, though, looking down, we're going to try to put this line back together again. Raymond, Larkin, and Mantha as our top line. Second line, we got Zadina, Bergeron, and Toffoli. Third round, Svechnikov, Wright, and Bertuzzi. Fourth line, Rasmussen, Veleno, and Pavelski. These are obviously the lines to start. They're going to be changing probably game to game, and obviously it's going to be a battle. So you don't see Bozak, you don't see Hartman. Those guys are just currently scratched. So it's going to be a battle on the forwards, but we only really have, I guess, 1, maybe 2 possibilities of any player entering on defense, though. We got Lindholm and Hronek, Murray and Mann, and then Ekholm and Seider. Basically, actually, I'm probably going to move or start Mann on the third line since Seider's been around a little bit longer. So you don't see Timmins. He's pretty much given a pass. Obviously, we'll rotate him in. But I have been thinking, and I'm not 100% if I'm going to do anything about it yet, but I might end up trying to trade a combination of a couple of our defensemen and try to get someone high tier, like a high rated, so like an 85 plus, most likely for the right side. I don't know who it would be yet. I haven't done any research to see who is even possibly available. But we have a lot of defensemen, and I feel like if we can have a really solid top 4, we'd be really, really solid. But obviously we have a couple of young right-hand defensemen that are still, making their way up. But in the meantime, obviously we're going to stick with what we have here. So we'll start the season with this team. We'll see if there's any free agents that could possibly help us. But for now, this is going to be the squad. But over on the goaltender side, of course, is the star of free agency for us. Gorgiev is going to be in a battle with Bennington. Obviously, we don't really have any control over who plays more games. It's all up to simulation, but being the same overall, hopefully they'll get similar games And I know I wish that was something else you could add to franchise mode. Have a ratio of games played, and have a little bit smarter. So if there's a back-to-back, and maybe you'll throw the other goaltender. But we're going to have a battle as Bozak, Hartman, and Timmins wait on the bench for now. But it's going to be a battle off camera, and before next episode, or I guess in next episode, we'll show you guys the starting opening rosters for the squad, and hopefully this year will be the year that our team consistently starts making the playoffs from here on out. That is the expectation. Last year we were a bubble team that made it at the last second, but we did make some waves beating Toronto in that first round. But this is the year. I'm excited. Obviously, we got lots of young players that are looking to get into the squad, and overall, I'm very, very excited for this upcoming year. But with all that being said, guys, that's going to be it for episode number 9 in the franchise mode series with the Detroit Red Wings. So what do you guys think? Did we make the right moves during the offseason? Would you have done something differently? Should we add something to the team? Let me know that down below in that comment section. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button down there as well. And if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Turn those notifications so you never miss an upload. And as always, guys, we'll see you in the next one.